Alright, welcome to Jared Berry Acts. Today we're going to react to Tony Stark, I Love You 3000. I don't know if I've watched this before or not. I went through my own channel to look for it, and I couldn't find it. Maybe I did, but it has 11 million views. It was posted 5 years ago. It feels like something that would have crossed this channel at some point. But the runtime is 4 minutes. It was posted by Maze Day with 50K subscribers. If you want to watch it uninterrupted, a link will be in the description box down below. And then what we'll do after we watch this is we'll talk about what it was like to watch Infinity War and Endgame in the movie theater, and I will share with you guys my experience with that because it was quite beautiful. So if you want to know about that, stick around to the end. All right, so with Jerry behind the scenes, we can watch.
We won. Mr. Stark.
I was gonna say let's hope it's not too emotional, but here we go.
We won, Mr. Stark.
All right. Yeah, we won.
We won. You did it, sir. You did it.
Fuck Tom Holland, bro. It's just boy knows how to get me emotional.
What you really fight for is yourself.
Get her, get outside. Go!
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
God, but he was time and time again.
You know, you may not be a threat, but you better stop pretending to be a hero.
What have I to fear? The Avengers. That's what we call ourselves. Sort of like a team.
We all need family.
That decanter was nice,
Avengers are
by the way.
yours. Maybe more so than mine.
Kid, you're an Avenger now.
Tell me his name again.
Two things before he says Thanos. Two things. The first one with them trying to pull Mjolnir up, when them all being there after the party, after Excelsior with Stan Lee trying to drink the stuff from Asgard, the alcohol. It was... That's... Despite people's different opinions on Age of Ultron, I love it. A lot of people hate it. I think that it was a really, really, really good team-up movie because we got to see them kind of as a family for a first time. Like, it starts off with them. They've been protecting. They've been doing these things. And we get to see them all together. With Avengers, it's about assembling them. With Infinity War, they're fighting the big threat. With Endgame, they're fighting the big threat. People are dying. Their lives are on the line. With Civil War, there's conflict with each other. But up until the moment of Ultron, in Age of Ultron, the Avengers are this beautiful little tight-knit family. And then it transitioned over to this scene. Initially during Civil War, Peter was just going to show up as Spider-Man. That was going to be the end of it. But Robert Downey Jr. went to bat for Tom Holland, saying they need more of this kid because this is the biggest superhero in the world. This is a fresh introduction. Yes, we had 3 movies with Tobey Maguire. Yes, we had 2 movies with Andrew Garfield. But this is a new take. And this is somebody who embodies Peter Parker and he embodies Spider-Man. I've always said that Tobey is a wonderful, wonderful Peter Parker. He's a phenomenal Spider-Man. He's a wonderful Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield had the quick wit and the sass and all of those things that Spider-Man embodied. He didn't have the best Peter Parker, but his Spider-Man was amazing. And Tom Holland's just an embodiment of those two. Like, he knows how to play Peter. He knows how to play Spider-Man. And yes, it is 2 entities. It's much like Bruce Wayne and Batman. There's a complete difference between being Bruce Wayne and being Batman. That's why some of the actors are really good Bruces, but they're not good Batmans. Or the opposite of being really good Batmans, but not being a good Bruce. And honestly, I think the only person that's embodied kind of both would either be kind of Keaton or Ben Affleck, honestly. But that's beside the point. We're not here to talk about them. We're talking about Tony Stark. This scene was supposed to be cut. Robert Downey Jr. went to bat, got the scenes back in, and it's a very wholesome introduction to Tom Holland. Thanos, bro.
He's a plague, Tony. He invades planets. He takes what he wants. He wipes out half the population.
But that's my thing, too, with that. How does he know all of that? Okay? Other than it just being exposition. As much as I think Infinity War is a perfect movie, I genuinely think it's perfect from start to finish. I think it's a wonderful movie. But him landing and saying, Thanos, that's his name. Sure, the children of Thanos showed up. They wiped him out. And they wiped about half of the Asgardians according to that. But the way that Banner says it was like he's been aware of this threat for a long-ass time. When really the only person that's had any sort of connection to him has been Tony, outside of the Guardians with Gamora and stuff. But it's really Tony's... Thanos has been the person plaguing his mind.
He sent Loki. The attack on New York. That's him.
I don't think you quite understand.
Or because Banner's been gone so long that he learned that information while with Ragnarok, right? While being away after Age of Ultron, did he learn that information from maybe the Grandmaster or while he was on Sakaar? Is that what happened? Because that would fill in that loophole for me.
Now, what's at stake here?
It's you who doesn't understand that Thanos has been inside my head for 6 years, since he's been going into New York, and now he's back. And I don't know what to do.
This is it.
How are you guys planning on beating that?
Together.
And if we lose, oh,
Lose.
do that together too.
Then we'll do that together too.
Are you that guy? Are you? Because if you are, then you can solve the riddle of your heart.
Don't waste it. Don't waste your life.
Threat is imminent, and I have to protect the one thing that I can't live without. That's you.
And that's Pepper.
My suits, they're part of me.
What do you remember about your dad, huh?
God, that first
He
movie's
was
great.
calculating. He never told me he loved me. He never even told me he liked me.
But one day you'll figure this out.
That first Iron Man movie's almost 17 years old. Oh, that was gross to say.
And when you do, you will change the world.
And I'm the man who killed the Avengers.
Playing on your fear.
I wasn't tricked, I was shown. It wasn't a nightmare, it was my legacy.
I can't take this.
What do you look at me?
My body literally cannot handle the stress. I never know if you're gonna kill yourself or wreck the whole company.
I think I did okay.
I hope they remember you. How many did we win?
Oh, they will. Always.
One.
We won one. This man had 14 billion opportunities where he came out on top, and they gave us the one movie where he lost. But I was going to say this to the end. As good as the Iron Man trilogy isn't, like Iron Man 1's really good, Iron Man 2 is decent, Iron Man 3 had so much potential. The ending of him just being able to take the thing out of his chest the whole time, sure, he was able to solve the riddle of his own heart and this, that, and the other. It just, I don't know, something about it felt wrong. That's just maybe a me thing.
What is and always will be my greatest creation is you.
Yes.
They try to make Tony out to be the bad guy when fucking his closest friend and Steve Rogers, his father's like pupil, his father's like the apple of his eye, and that dude's best friend, Winter Soldier, done killed his parents, and they want Tony to be cool with it. Yes, he was not himself. He was a fucking soldier. He was activated. You just want bro to be cool with it though? I can't. I
am Iron Man.
I'm so glad that was paced in between because that shit hurt.
I'm trying to keep you from tearing the Avengers apart.
We are not soldiers.
Isn't that the why we fight? So we can end the fight? So we get to go home?
Every time someone tries to win a war before it starts, innocent people die.
I'm sorry, did I just mishear you, or did you agree?
Oh, I'm gonna take it back.
No, you can't retract it. You're such good care of me. Been in a tough spot, and you got me through it, so.
Yeah, my respects, Doc.
I was wrong about you.
I will miss you.
Yeah?
That's such a good shot.
We're gonna be okay.
I love you, Dan.
You can rest now.
I like that in reverse of him putting the mask back on. I know there's a lot of yapping and stuff there in the middle, but it's him putting the mask back on is very, very, very beautiful. This was made the day I saw in-game. I couldn't use in-game footage back then, so please stop asking why I didn't use the I Love You 3000 scene. Yeah, clearly, people, leave him alone. It was posted April 26, 2019. Like, it just happened. It is crazy that I really wish Infinity War would have came out in 2019, and then we had the pandemic, because it would have made things a little more real. It would have been like, oh, shit. But Tony he's the pupil. I already used that analogy. He is the icon of Marvel, of the MCU. Like, he is the poster boy, and I do think him being cast as Victor Von Doom really does undermine a lot of things that happen in Endgame. It's heartbreaking because he has to have a different look. He can't come in with the same old Robert Downey Jr. style. He can't be. I don't want him to be an Iron Man clone. I don't want him to be a failed Tony Stark. I want him to be Victor Von Doom and to do all of these things. And maybe it's a red herring, and maybe he's just coming in and he is going to be a failed clone, and maybe the real Doom comes in. I don't know how it's going to play out. I genuinely don't. Doctor Doom is too good of a villain to let go, and I don't know, because when I watched Infinity War in the movie theater, it was a surreal experience. I watched it it's the first time viewing it. You can never view it for the first time again. I had my hands on top of my head, and the theater was so eerily quiet at the end. And all I wanted the entire time was the snap. That's it. I thought he was going to snap and that was going to go to black and that was going to be the movie. And then it carried on after he snapped. And I finished reading Thanos' Quest and Infinity War and all of that. I finished the last panel of the comic book 10 minutes before my movie started. That's what I wanted to see. Like, I wanted to read that and experience it. And I feel like if I did that now with a lot of stuff, it would hinder what I'm watching, but this just added to it. Like, I wanted to see the snap. I wanted to know why his motives were different. And he snapped, and then as people started to fade away, it was like, oh, we're doing this. Oh, this is happening. And then the stuff with Peter, with Tom Holland saying, Mr. Stark, I don't want to go. Sobbing. The guy behind me apologized for crying so loudly, but what he doesn't know is that he wasn't really crying that loud at all. It was all sniffles and snot and tears, and everybody in the theater walked out with teary-eyed. We were the first showing, and I know it had to be just disastrous for people. Like, seeing us walk out, like, what are we about to walk into? And then I watched the movie 7 times in a span of 3 or 4 days in the theater, and then come back around in 2019 for Endgame, and it's a completely different. It's the opening was kind of upsetting because they killed the original Thanos so quickly, and he used the stones to destroy the stones. He atomized them. When I really just wanted to see that Thanos go crazy, but he was wounded. But then we get a 2012 Thanos, and to help tie in with the Endgame time period, or with the Avengers time period, and all of those things with that Loki and that Gamora and that Nebula, and with Gamora being gone, and it was a lot. And it was a spectacle. On your left, all the heroes, the Avengers assemble, finally getting to happen, and everything was beautiful. And then we get to the closing moments of I Am Iron Man. The way the whole thing started, boom, that's it. That's the way it ended. And everybody coming up and paying their respects. There's a longer scene that was cut with a bunch of people taking a knee that I hate that was cut, but they all came up and paid their respects. And Peter being there to his mentor and calling him Tony at one point, which he always called him Mr. Stark. And then for Pepper to tell him he can finally rest. And while people were sobbing, right, while this was happening, and while they sent his proof that Tony Stark has a heart, they sent that down the river with that sad ass music playing, and everybody being there, and even the little boy from Iron Man 3, and everybody. His daughter being asked if she's hungry, and she said she wants a cheeseburger, which was the first thing that Tony said he wanted when he got off the plane from being kidnapped in the first movie, wrecked me. Fucking wrecked me. Ugh. Just, no. It was almost too much watching the movie. But Endgame was a spectacle. It was beautiful. Recency bias at the time, people were saying it was the best movie. I think now it's probably in the top 5. I don't think it's the best. I think Infinity War was the best one. And Yeah, Tony was the quarterback of all of that. I think him coming back as Doom is wild. A lot of people didn't like that Tony played such a factor in Peter's life and in his movies. When I really loved it. I loved the fact that that gave him a 3-movie arc that overall was his origin story and meeting the other Spider-Man and everything. And it was really cool. So yeah, Tony Stark, great movies, great cameos. I don't know if we'll see any Iron Man variants in the future. Zombie Iron Man in fucking in No Way Home was, or Homecoming, Far From Home. Anyways, I've rambled too long. This is almost at a 17-minute recording. It'll obviously be chopped down for you guys. But that was their video. You go make sure to check out Maze Days. It definitely is a talking point. It sparks conversation. It's 5 years old. It has 11.5 million views. Go give them another view if you will. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. And yeah, man. Links and everything will be in the description box down below. Playlist up on screen. Stay cute, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you on the next one.